Hey, my name is Jordan. It's Thursday night, Friday morning here in Chicago. Tonight I took a break and snuck out once my baby was put down, and I went and saw a screening of Matt Reeves' The Batman. And man, it's been so long. It feels like it's been decades since we have seen a true depiction of the dark, gritty Batman that we all know and love from the comic book. But this one was definitely different. I was excited to see what Matt Reeves brought to the table, especially since I loved his Planet of the Apes movies. I always kind of felt like I didn't think that the Planet of the Apes movies needed to happen, though. Like when I was watching that, like the one with James Franco, it was okay, and at the time, it's like, yeah, we needed a new movie, a new summer franchise to come out, and it seems like they were just a little bit boring to me. Even though I feel like they had great action, they were shot well. I mean, the CGI is crazy. You can see every little detail in the monkey fur and everything. You know, if you're a CGI geek, I guess that's pretty cool. But the movies are good. I thought the third one was pretty lacking, especially for one that was going to be closing up the trilogy. I think it was just Caesar dying at the end of the cliff or something. But yeah, I was really excited to go and see this movie. I definitely didn't think I'd be doing any kind of commentary on it. I never thought I'd be doing a podcast. And I always kind of wanted to do these things with other people, and I've tried before. And when you're making art and not doing it for money, then it can get a little bit more, it could be a little difficult. So I think I'm going to just try to start this episode off. I think I'm going to call this podcast Movie Buffers Podcast. I really hope that nobody out there has this title because I don't want to get sued. But welcome to the first episode of the Movie Buffers Podcast. I'm a screenwriter and right now I'm a production assistant. I'm just kind of trying to help out in productions on movies here and now. I'm a full-time dad as well, so I'm at home usually doing the dad thing, chasing a 9-month-old baby around. But I picked up a mic to do some vocal recordings for some music stuff. So and then I went and saw this movie tonight, and I saw it with a buddy of mine, which I might even have on here at some point. Because we're working on a movie together right now, and not really trying to talk about that stuff. I just want to kind of talk about the movie, but at some point maybe I'll have other people on here to talk about stuff. But yeah, let's get into it. The movie started out, and right away I was captured by the gothy tone that they were going for in this one. Just all the architecture and the Wayne Manor. What they did with the Wayne Manor was just something that I've never seen in anything Batman really. It looked just so gothy, like over the top goth, almost Dark Soulsy goth, But yeah, it opens up, and it's really awesome that we're kind of just being dropped into this story already, and we're not having to see Bruce Wayne getting his parents capped off in the beginning or anything. It refers to it. You see like news clips of it, so it seems like he's still pretty young, which I was kind of trying to talk with my friend about this, because I was like, it seems like he's like 15 or something in this movie, which, I mean, good job. It felt genuine, and it felt like he was actually young and immature and trying to learn his craft and become he was really out for revenge. And it seems like it was starting out just to fight for his father's legacy and his family's legacy and avenge them, which is like nothing new. But it just kind of felt more sincere, and it might be like now that I have a son, trying to think about him as a young child witnessing something so devastating. And then they kind of touched on that where he was fragile. Like there's a part in the movie where he sees a young boy giving a statement to the police who just saw something very traumatic, and he relates to that right away. You could see through his eyes, and it was the first time I think I've seen it in a Batman movie. Something that it felt more deep than just like a comic book vengeance story, you know. It actually felt like he had a lot of trauma to him this time, and you could, when he had that scene with Alfred too, and where, you know, he's kind of figuring out that everything was kind of fabricated with his family, and his father did something really horrible and might have caused somebody to die, and he is having this heart-to-heart with Alfred after something happens, and Alfred's now in the hospital. You can see the look on Alfred's face being like, I know what you saw at you witnessed two people die, and you're just, it's okay to not be okay, you know, you're not okay. And I think like getting older, I'm starting to relate to things differently, like seeing Batman, Bruce Wayne at the age that he's at now. He's still very much a child mentally, especially because of an extremely traumatic experience that has kind of trapped him at a certain age to where he's like throwing a tantrum and trying to fight for his family's vengeance on top of being this established vigilante already, I guess, because I guess he's already, you know, he's been working the cases, and I don't feel like Christian Bale captured that as much with his, you know, his parents were killed in front of him, but the way that Christian Bale carried himself, he was just so dead and hollow inside, and you never really knew who the real Bruce Wayne was in those movies, I don't think. And maybe that's in my opinion. It's been a while since I've rewatched them, even though I've seen them 100,000 times, especially the second one. And this is another one of the cool things about this one, is the first Batman story arc that I've seen really address his privilege, and I guess kind of the way he doesn't really care about his wealth. It doesn't seem like he really cares that he's rich. He's so depressed, and which I'll get to that in a minute too, with the way he looked. The way he his hair and some certain ways he carried himself, I just felt was done a little. Some things were really funny, and I'm glad that they were sprinkled in the movie, other than having this other arc, this other story. Felt like he was pulling his hair in front of his eyes a little too much, and it looked like somebody was trying to cover up a receding hairline. But My Chemical Romance looking Bruce Wayne, because it was really weird, because I really felt that he was going to be a better Bruce Wayne in this story than he was actually going to be a Batman, but it was vice versa. He actually ended up being an amazing Batman, and the Batman scenes were stellar. And I remember reading something back, I don't know, I'll have to double check and fact check, and I hope I'm not blowing stuff out of my ass when I put this out, but I think that he was butting heads with Matt Reeves about some character choices, which I'm wondering if it was about the Bruce Wayne character, because it seemed like Robert Pattinson was pushing the emo looking Bruce Wayne. I was like, are we going to get another fucked up Batman movie? Because I don't know if I could take much more of this. And that's like no offense to the Zack Snyder Batman v Superman or Justice League and stuff, even though I was so disappointed when I saw Batman v Superman. That was a horrible day for me. And then I bought the director's cut or whatever, and it, you know, crossed some T's, and that's about all it did. It didn't quite dot the I's. It was still kind of very bad, especially Jesse Eisenberg. It's still hard, but I still watch that movie every once in a while, just to get a little Batman fix. You ever want to just see a really fucking awesome Batman takedown, like that warehouse scene? Yeah, it's awesome, and that's where people try to say that movie saving grace is the Batman scenes, but no, I think just that scene is really cool. But Batfleck, man, I'm just not feeling it. I don't like the voice changer. I don't like the weird thick suit. I feel like it they had something there. They were trying to do the Dark Knight Returns thing, and I thought that was cool when it was coming out, but it didn't turn out to be very cool. The suit, though, by the way, the suit in this one is just so fucking awesome. The gun breastplate, Batman logo is just it was a fresh take. This whole thing was fresh. It did sometimes seem to me to feel a little bit like a fan film, though, like one that students made in high school or college or something. No, I mean, it was of course way better than that, but it just sometimes it felt like a very large scale, well done fan film, and it almost just didn't feel like this was really happening. It felt really surreal. Maybe it's because I smoked some pot before I went and saw this, but it didn't hurt it. Usually smoking pot I can't take a movie too seriously. I'm just like, oh fuck, this is so cheesy. And with Batman, that could have really went that way, but it didn't. Fucking incredible. Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot, he wasn't in it very much. I gotta say, I really expected him to be in the movie more, but he definitely delivered. Colin Farrell, man, I couldn't believe that it was him. That chase scene that you see in the trailer, that looks absolutely fucking badass. That's exactly what it is. It's like 20 minutes of just pure, like, high speed classic movie car chase with the new Batmobile. It was just so cool, man. And to see it on the screen I saw it on, and the sound was on point, it almost made me forget that they lifted the mask mandate yesterday before the Batman came out. Which, I guess it was like a few days ago, but I was a little worried. I was like, well, this is going to be where I get COVID. And when I go and see this comic book movie, right? But anyway, I mean, I still ate my popcorn and indulged and watched the shit out of this 3-hour long Batman movie. I think this is the longest Batman movie in history. I think this is the longest Batman movie we've ever had. Which is, I mean, if you're not counting the 4-hour long Snyder cut of Justice League, which I ain't counting that. So the movie starts out, it starts out like a David Fincher murder mystery detective story. Is exactly how it fucking feels. And it's really cool. Any Seven fans out there, this is going to be really tickling you in some familiar areas, for lack of better terms. It was almost a little overkill, I think, with the detectiveness. It was, after a while, it just felt like it was like a buddy cop movie with Batman and Commissioner Gordon, which fucking awesome Commissioner Gordon too as well. Jeffrey Wright, that's what I was. I was kind of trying to look for it. I was like, how the fuck can I remember his name? He's from Westworld and Boardwalk Empire. It's like two of my favorite shows. It's kind of crazy how much the trailer and the description of the movie just kind of is so straightforward. There's not a lot you can really spoil in this movie other than Selena Kyle is Falcone's daughter. That's like the only fucking thing, I think. Everything else, you know that the Riddler's in it. You know he's going to get caught. You know he's murdering motherfuckers. And you know that Paul Dano is acting crazy and brilliant doing it. Nobody plays a serial killer better than Paul fucking Dano. I swear to God, man. Who the fuck? Where has he been? I mean, and let alone, what a fucking amazing time to just drop out of nowhere to become the Riddler in the Batman movie after this horrible, devastating drought of film during this fucking pandemic. There's a lot of crazy shit going on right now. It's March 4th, 12:47 in the morning. I just watched this fucking movie, and it was great. It was awesome to go and like turn my brain off. It's like the news has just been blaring, and like everything going to Russia and Ukraine, and everyone's talking about it, and it's all over the internet, and it was nice to go turn my brain off for 3 hours to go and watch this fucking buddy cop Batman movie. But oh man, dude, when Paul Dano, once he just enters into the whole mix, like things just get so it seemed like a Borderlands villain. But the chemistry between Zoe Kravitz and Rob Pat, I mean, it's pretty real. It was pretty cool. You know, I don't know. It kind of seemed like maybe there was a little bit more chemistry than I think Batman and Catwoman should have, and maybe than they have had, other than like weird spoofs. But yeah, man. I mean, the action is really good. The acting is really good. I think it's safe to say that Matt Reeves is my Batman guy now. I would really love to see more. But literally everybody was fucking amazing in this movie. There wasn't one person I think that I was like, I don't know if I like this choice, because I've been so nitpicky about my Batman movies for so many years, and I think I just gave up kind of a while ago, and I gave up on comic book movies kind of. I mean, not to say that No Way Home wasn't awesome, and it was great to see all those characters that I grew up with and love back on the screen. I mean, except for the Andrew Garfield ones, and you know, I'm not a big Tom Holland fan either, man. I don't think he's Spider-Man. Yeah, he's very much Spider-Boy, and has done a good job carrying those 3 movies for what they are. But the third one was definitely the best one. And it was riding on the coattails of other franchises. I mean, for fuck's sake, they got Sam Raimi to come back and direct a Marvel cinematic movie coming out now. Doctor Strange. Which I think is awesome. I hope that movie's good, even though I wasn't a big fan of the original Doctor Strange, you know, and they're bringing him back in the Phase 4 now, and the Phase 4 of the Marvels has been shite. It's been utter shite. So that's why it was really refreshing to also see this really fresh take on Batman after we've had such a bat drought. It's been dry, man. It's like Dark Knight Rises. It came out and it fulfilled. It gave us that fix that we needed from The Dark Knight, but it wasn't. It wasn't better than The Dark Knight, and we didn't get him fucking another one, man. No, what we got was Batfleck. And I remember I did a podcast with my buddies at the time. We were putting them out. Like, I don't know where the fuck this stuff is anymore. But we discussed it when it was announced that Ben Affleck was going to be the new Batman, and so a few of us we were divided, because some people were like, I could see it. He's a comic book fan. He's friends with Kevin Smith. This could be really good. This could be the fucking Batman that we've been waiting for. but I don't fucking think so. I knew right away. I was like, this sounds horrible. It's like, really? That guy? The fucking guy that the fucking the weird uncomfortable Volkswagen guy from Mallrats? That guy? The douchebag from Geely? The guy with the giant dragon tattoo on his back? What the fuck? I'm still mad about that announcement. I have had Batfleck proved to me in front of my face. I've had it happen to me. I like the Justice League movie. So I have a lot of friends that didn't like that, and I liked it. But I'm still mad about that announcement. Like, why did they even go this route? You know. I really liked Man of Steel. I wanted to see another one of those. I didn't need to see, Pepsi presents Batman versus Superman. They're like, let's slap together a Batman versus Superman movie with Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck dropped in with another origin story slow-mo scene that added 45 minutes to this movie. But anyway, yeah, I'm still mad about the announcement. I remember sitting around, we sat in a circle, and I went on the same rant I'm going on right now. Fuck, dude, is Matt Damon gonna be Robin? What the fuck? The fuck is happening to movies? Little did I know that a global pandemic would hit 2019 or whatever, and just completely ruin every fucking thing. Not only movies, everything about life. It's still hard for me to like movies because of what happened. It's still hard for me to like wrap my head around reality, But I love movies. I like to write them. I like to work on them, and I'm a movie buff. So, anyways, going back to this movie, everyone did amazing in it. Everyone was so good. And guess who plays Falcone, man? I didn't know John Turturro was in this fucking movie. I didn't fucking know that. I'm like, dude, right on, man. Like, this cast was loaded and it was a refreshing movie. It was a great experience in the theater. I recommend going out and seeing it in the theater. I don't even know when I'm going to release this. This is my first go, though. This is my first time trying to do this thing, and I hope that you enjoyed it. So, The Batman 2022. What did you think? I really hope to see more. Before I go, though, I'm going to say that little scene with Paul Dano and whoever was playing Joker in the prison at the end of the movie. Like, we didn't need that. It was almost like a post-credit scene before the last, Peter Jackson ending of the movie, where it just like jumped to another ending of the movie. But it actually kind of felt very Peter Jackson. It felt like a Peter Jackson. It felt like Guillermo del Toro and Peter Jackson presents Batman. Even if you don't like Batman that much, I feel like it's just a good time. And if you have 3 hours to spare, it doesn't feel that long. But I like movies, and that doesn't bother me. So that's my take on the movie, and I hope that I can release something in the next week or so. But yeah, stay tuned. This has been Movie Buffers Podcast Episode 1, and thanks for tuning in.